Oh, a small, impoverished village. Oh, a young boy, Aram, struggles to communicate due to his speech impediment. Oh, his family, burdened by poverty, sends him to herd the cattle of a wealthy landowner, Ardashir. Aram's home is little more than a clay-walled cottage with a crumbling roof, where the walls whisper of hardships and empty plates. Aram feels the weight of his family's struggles as he watches his mother patch up his worn shoes, her hands rough and tired, her gaze distant. Every morning, Aram wakes before dawn, slipping out of the house with a lump in his throat and a silent prayer that he won't stumble over his words today. The villagers' murmurs follow him like shadows, soft yet biting, each whispering word about his stutter slicing through his heart. As he walks the narrow dirt path to Ardashir's estate, he listens to the sounds of the early morning, birds chirping, leaves rustling, grateful for the silence that requires no response. Aram has learned to speak in gestures and soft nods, communicating with the cattle more easily than with people, finding comfort in their simple, unassuming company. Ardashir's estate is vast and filled with loud, bustling workers, but Aram finds peace in the fields, where only the gentle lowing of cows fills the air. At first, Aram fears Ardashir, a man known for his fierce temper and piercing gaze, but he finds solace in the quiet duties of herding, where his voice doesn't betray him. The cattle are patient and kind, responding to his gentle prods and soft whistles, offering Aram a sense of confidence he seldom feels with people. Despite his isolation, Aram nurtures a tender dream. One day, he'll find a voice that others listen to, a voice strong enough to rise above his stammer. On difficult days, when he stumbles over even the simplest words, he seeks the open fields, letting the winds carry his silent frustrations far away.
As the weeks pass, he grows closer to the land, memorizing the scent of wildflowers, the rustle of grass, and the warmth of the sun, a world that doesn't judge his quiet nature. In rare moments of courage, Aram attempts to speak to the other herders, his words halting and shaky, yet sincere, earning their quiet nods of respect. One evening, he stays with the cattle until sunset, the sky awash in orange and pink, feeling as if the world has given him a voice in its colors. His speech may falter, but Aram's heart speaks loudly through his kindness and dedication, traits that soon draw the quiet respect of those around him. Oh, Aram spends his days in solitude, tending to the cattle. Oh, despite his disability, he forms a deep connection with the animals. Oh, the quietude of the fields becomes his sanctuary. As Aram guides the cattle across sunlit pastures, he feels an unspoken bond with them, their steady, trusting gazes reflecting a quiet understanding. Each morning, the mist hangs low over the fields, wrapping Aram in a cool embrace, as if the land itself knows his struggles and offers him shelter. With each passing day, he learns the cattle's habits, the way some linger at the water's edge, others playfully nudge each other, and his heart swells with a sense of purpose. Aram's hands, calloused and weathered from long hours of work, gently pat the cattle's thick hides, his fingers tracing patterns that comfort both him and the animals. A severe storm threatens the village and the cattle. Oh, Aram, risking his own safety, shields the cattle from the storm. Oh, his selfless act impresses Ardashir, who recognizes the boy's courage and compassion. Oh, Ardashir begins to see Aram in a new light. Oh, they develop a unique bond, communicating through gestures and shared experiences. Oh, Aram's silence becomes a strength, allowing him to observe the world with a keen eye. Oh, years pass. Ardashir grows old and frail. Oh, Aram remains steadfast, caring for the cattle and the ailing man. Oh, his unwavering loyalty and dedication touch the hearts of the villagers. Oh, Ardashir, recognizing Aram's selfless nature, bequeaths his entire estate to the young herdsman. Oh, the villagers, initially skeptical, are astounded by the old man's decision. Oh, Aram, once a marginalized figure, emerges as a symbol of hope and resilience.
The old man's estate was not only vast, but held memories and stories as old as the village itself. Among the rolling green fields were ancient trees under which Ardashir had often sat, watching the sunsets alone, thinking about the life he had led. Now, all of it belonged to Aram, a man who had only known the rough path of survival, and he felt an almost sacred duty to honor Ardashir's legacy. Slowly, Aram began to understand the power he held. He didn't change his humble ways, but instead began using his newfound resources to help those in need. He hired workers from the village to maintain the fields and tend to the animals, paying them fair wages. He also organized community gatherings on the estate, encouraging people to come together and share their stories and struggles. At first, the villagers approached with caution, uncertain of Aram's intentions. But as they saw his genuine compassion, their attitudes began to shift. Many, who once looked down upon him, now saw him as a source of support and wisdom. Aram's rise from a marginalized figure to a leader brought hope to those who felt unseen and unheard. In time, Aram transformed Ardashir's estate into a sanctuary for the entire village. It became a place where people could gather to celebrate, seek guidance, and find solace. The land Ardashir had entrusted to him now stood as a testament to the power of resilience and the strength of kindness, and Aram himself became a beloved symbol of hope in the village. A man who, though given riches, held on to his humble heart and lifted those around him.
Oh, Aram uses his newfound wealth to uplift his family and community. Oh, he establishes a school for children with speech impediments. Oh, his story inspires others to overcome adversity and embrace their unique abilities.
With his newfound wealth, Aram felt a deep sense of purpose and responsibility. He remembered his own difficult childhood, marked by struggles and limited opportunities. In particular, he recalled his younger sister, Layla, who had lived with a speech impediment that made her shy and withdrawn. Because of it, she had faced ridicule from other children, and even adults would look at her with pity or impatience. Aram's heart ached at how she had felt silenced in a world that did not understand her struggle. Determined to change this, Aram used a significant portion of his inheritance to establish a school specifically for children with speech impediments. The school, named Layla's Haven, was the first of its kind in the region, and it became a place where children with speech challenges could feel seen, understood, and empowered. Aram personally oversaw the hiring of specialized teachers, therapists, and mentors who had experience working with speech and language difficulties, many of whom were individuals who had once faced similar challenges. In the early days, the village's reaction was mixed. Some parents were reluctant to send their children to the new school, feeling that it marked them as different in a way that might bring shame. But Aram understood their concerns. He met with families, sharing stories of his own sister's experience, and emphasizing that this school was a safe haven where children could grow without judgment. His persistence and empathy gradually won over many skeptical families. The children at Layla's Haven thrived. In a nurturing environment that celebrated their unique voices, they began to overcome their self-doubt and learn to communicate more confidently. Some of the students would even go on to become skilled storytellers, poets, and leaders, proving that they had talents and abilities that had simply been waiting for the right environment to blossom. Aram's dedication inspired others in the village to look beyond appearances and appreciate the value of every individual. Slowly, attitudes began to shift. People who once saw speech impediments as weaknesses now recognized the resilience it took to navigate a world that often dismissed those who struggled to speak. Many villagers felt compelled to contribute, volunteering their time and resources to support the school and its mission. Layla, who had once been quiet and reserved, also found a renewed sense of pride. Watching her brother's commitment and seeing the joy of the children at the school, she started to embrace her own voice, speaking to the students and encouraging them to believe in themselves. Her story, woven into the fabric of the school, inspired many of the children, and her own growth mirrored the changes happening within the community. Over time, Layla's Haven became a symbol of transformation, not just for those with speech challenges, but for the entire village. Aram's story, his journey from a marginalized herdsman to a community leader, became known far beyond the village, inspiring people from neighboring regions. His actions encouraged others to embrace their unique abilities and face adversity with hope. Through his kindness and determination, Aram transformed not only his family's life, but the lives of countless others, leaving a legacy that celebrated resilience, compassion, and the power of embracing one's true self.
Rising above challenges. Rising above challenges.
Kelly's luxurious home, a lavishly decorated living room. Kelly, a beautiful young woman in her late teens, sits alone.
Bound by gold.